Hi there, so the last bit of expanding brackets for now. This is expand and simplify. So there's kind of two things to do. But first of all, before we get onto that, I would like you to expand out these sets of just ordinary single brackets, please. So pause the video, expand them out on a bit of paper, and then unpause when you're done to see if you've got them right. Off you go. Okay, we've unpaused then, so let's see if your answers match mine. Now remember, anything at the front of the bracket means it's multiplied by everything in the bracket. There's a secret little hidden times sign that we don't bother writing. We just know that when it's touching the bracket, it means times. And so we times everything by the 5 in this case. So 5 times x is 5x, and 5 times the 7 is 35. And they're both positive, so the answer there is positive. And then 2 times y is 2y. And then 2 times the negative 5. So you've got a positive 2 times a negative 5. Well, positive times a negative leaves a negative answer. And 2 times 5 is 10. Remember, if the signs are mixed, so a positive and a negative, then it means that the answer is going to be negative. If the signs are the same, either two positives or a negative times a negative, then the answer is positive. Okay, this one. So 4x times by 3x. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. And then x times x we write as x squared to show that it is x times x. And then 4x times by negative 2. Well, negative 2 times 4 is negative 8. And then, of course, it's really negative 2 times 4x, so it's 8x. So 12x squared, take away 8x, okay? Next one, so 5y times everything in the bracket. 5y times 9y. Well, 5 times 9 is 45. And then y times by the y, we write as y squared. And then 5y times by negative 4x. Right, 5 times negative 4 will be negative 20. And then y times by x, well, I can't put y squared or x squared because it's not times itself, it's times a completely different letter. So we're going to write that as xy. Or you could write it as yx, it doesn't matter on the order, I just think it's neater when you go xy. But yes, it could write yx and it'll be just as correct. Okay? Right, so on to what we're going to do today, which is, as it says up here, expand and simplify. So each time we are going to need to simplify at the end, but we'll expand first and then simplify later. Well, what have we got here? We've got two sets of single brackets, each with something in front of them, which means it's obviously multiplied by that. And there's also a little plus sign in the middle here. Well, we'll come to that first. Let's just concentrate, first of all, on this set of this bracket at the front. And we'll expand that one out first, okay? So let's do 5 times x, which is, of course, 5x. And then 5 times the 4 is 20. Then we'll look at the second bracket over here. Now I've got plus 2. What we're going to do is just think of that as positive 2. Right? So we're going to do positive 2 times by x. So basically just 2 times x. Well, that's 2x and it is positive, yeah, because it's a positive times positive. And then we'll do 2 times by the 3, which is 6. Right, now that's the expand bit done. Now we need to do the simplify part. And we do that by putting anything together that we can. So 5x and 2x, they can go together to make a total of, and it's, if you, just try and get my words out. If you look at this, that I've got a 5x here, that's just ordinarily a positive 5x, right? So there's 5x. And then here I've got 2x, but it's important to keep the sign in front of it, right? Because that sign tells you what to do. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start with 5x and I'm going to add the 2x to it, right? Because that's what it says to do. So the first bit of this will be 7x. Let's change colour back to blue. 7x, and then we'll do the same thing with the numbers here, the loose numbers. I've got positive 20. Well, that's just ordinary 20, right? So it's just an ordinary positive 20. And then here I've got plus 6. So I add 6 to it. So I get 26, and that's positive 26. So I put positive 26. Yeah. So that's what it's like when I simplify. Okay, it's harder to explain than it is to actually do, I think. Right, next one. So first of all, concentrate on the first bracket and expand that out. So 6 times by y is 6y. And then do 6 times 3, which is 18. And then we'll go to the second bracket, and this 2 here is a positive 2, so I'm just doing 2 times y, which is 2y, and of course it is positive, so just put positive 2y. And then 2 times negative 4. Well, 2 times negative 4 makes negative 8 because it's a mix of signs, okay? And again, let's have a look at it. It's handy if I change colour. So I've got 6y, so I start with 6y, and I'm going to add this to it. I'm going to put plus 2y, so add 2y. Keep the sign in front because it tells you what to do. And that is a total of 8y. Oh, I can't leave it like that. That's rubbish, isn't it? Can't leave it in red. We should be writing in blue. So 6y plus 2y is 8y. And then I've got positive 18, so that's just ordinary 18. And we're going to add this to it, put this with it, right? And remember, keep the sign in front because it tells you what to do. 18 take away 8, which is of course 10. And that's just ordinary positive 10. Yeah? Get the idea? So you expand out both brackets and then simplify. Keep an eye on that, that negative at the end. And notice this tells you whether this is positive or negative. All of these are going to be positive for now, so that should hopefully streamline things and make it a bit easier for you. So pause the video, have a go at these three. Even if you're a bit confused, just have a go, because then I want you to see if your answer matches mine. So pause now. We are unpaused. So let's see what we've got. Right, 3 times x is 3x, and 3 times the 4 is 12, and all of that is all positive. Okay. Then I've got 5 times x, and this is positive 5, so it's just 5, ordinary 5 times x, so ordinary 5x there. And then 5 times the 2, remember we're not adding, this is all multiplied because it's 5 touching the bracket, is 10. So that's the expanded version, so well done if you got that. And then let's simplify. I've got 3x, and I'm going to add 5x to it. Remember, the sign in front tells you what to do. 3 plus 5 is 8. And then I've got plus 12, so I start at 12, just ordinary 12, and I add 10 to it. That is 22. So plus 22. Next one. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 5 is 10, and it's an ordinary positive 10. And then 3 times the x is 3x, and again all of that is positive, so it's still just plus 3x. But then I've got 3 times by negative 2. Positive times a negative makes a negative. 3 2's are 6, right? So that's the expanded part. Now let's do the simplified. Now let's look at this. This is just 2x, so I start at 2x, and then I'm going to do this to it. Remember, keep the sign in front, it tells you what to do. 2x plus 3x makes a total of 5x. Okay, then we can sort out the numbers. So positive 10, so we start at 10, and then I do this. Remember, keep the sign in front, tells you what to do. 10, take away 6, leaves 4, and that's just an ordinary 4, positive 4. Yeah. And last one, 4 times by 2x. Oh, I've got 2x here, but we've done loads of these before, so we should know that 4 times 2x makes 8x, and then 4 times the 2 is also 8. Then we're going to do 6 times x. Now this is positive, so positive times positive just makes a positive 6x. And then a positive times a negative is going to be a negative, and 6 times 4 is 24. So let's do the simplifying then. So we start at 8x, keep the sign in front, tells you what to do. I'm going to do 8 plus 6 is 14, so it's 14x. And then we've got plus 8, and take away 24. Remember, so you keep the sign in front, so it tells you what to do. 8 take away 24 is going to be negative, isn't it? It's going to go way past 8. If you imagine your number line, if that's 0 and 8 is over here somewhere, if I take away 24, when we're taking away, we always go that way. So it's going to go way past 0. It's actually going to end up at negative 12. So that is take away 12, negative 12, yeah? 14x, take away 12. Hope you got that right. All right, let's go to the next stage then. Now, the next stage has this. Well, the first bit's going to be the same. No different at all. We're still expanding. We're still simplifying. So 5 times x equals 5x. And 5 times the 4 is 20. And all of that is positive because they're all positive. But then we come to the next one. Now, I'm going to do this number times by the x. Now, this is minus 2 or negative 2. So I've got to do negative 2 times x, which is negative 2x. And then I'm going to do negative 2 times by positive 3. Well, negative times a positive makes a negative answer. 2 times 3 is 6. All right, so it's still fairly straightforward. Just watch out for this. Remember, it's not just 2 times x, it's negative 2 times x. Then we're going to simplify. So 5x, and I'm going to take away 2x. Remember, keep the sign in front, tells you what to do. 5, take away 2, leaves 3. So just 3x. And then look at the numbers. So positive 20, so just 20. And I'm going to take away 6. Keep the sign in front, tells you what to do. It's like my new catchphrase. 20 take away 6 is 14. Just, it's still positive, isn't it? Because 20 take away 6 is just positive 14. So there you go, 3x plus 14. So not that much harder really, but just watch out for this negative in between. Right, 6 times x is 6. Why did I say x? It's y. Can't even read letters now. 6 times y is 6y. 6 times 3, 18. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Negative 2 times by the y. Well, remember, it's not just 2 times y, it's negative 2 times y. So negative 2y. Now this is the bit where everyone slips up. All the time. I've seen so many mistakes like this. Because we're now doing negative 2 times negative 4. Now because you're doing a negative times by a negative, the signs are the same, the answer is going to be positive. So that is plus 8. Be really careful for those. They always chuck them in exams and people always slip up. Okay, let's simplify. Let's expand. Let's simplify. 6y, take away 2y. Well, 6 take away 2 because the sign in front tells you what to do. Leaves 4y. For why? I don't know. Sounds very Shakespearean. Then plus 18. Plus 8. Well, that's nice and easy. 18 plus 8 is 26. Yep. Right, okay. Watch out for that double negative. And remember, when you're multiplying by this number is not just 2, it's negative 2. So watch out for those on your questions that you are going to do now. You're going to pause, you're going to do the questions, you're going to unpause, and then we're going to mark it. Off you go. We have unpaused. In the meantime, I made a coffee, went for a quick walk, had a bike ride. It's been great, lovely afternoon. Right, so we've got expand and simplify. Firstly, expand and then simplify. 4 times x is 4x. You're getting the hang of these now. I don't need to go slowly. 4 times 4 is 16, and that's positive 16. Then we get to this tricky little thing. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, and negative 3 times positive 2 is negative 6, because it's a negative times positive. And when you simplify that, you get 4x. Oh, no, you don't get 4x. Of course you don't get 4x. Mr. Nice, what are you doing? You've got 4x, take away 3x. So 4 take away 3, which leaves 1x. Now, we don't usually write the 1. If you haven't got it wrong. It's just not very neat, and I've probably tutted and rolled my eyes at you. Just imagine that. Then we've got 16. Take away 6 leaves 10, and it's just positive 10. So x plus 10. Next one. 5 times 3x is 15x. That's a lot of x. And 5 times 5 is 25. Then in the middle here we've got a negative, so it's negative 7 times x, which is negative 7x. And negative 7 times by negative 2, it's a negative times a negative. Did you spot that? Because it makes a positive, and 7 2s are 14. So that's the expand. Let's simplify it. 15x, take away 7x, so 15 take away 7 is 8. So that's 8x. And then we've got 25. It's positive, so it's just an ordinary 25. Plus 14, which is 39. And the last one, 6 times x, it's 6x, and 6 times 2 is 12. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x again, and negative 6 times negative 4, we got a negative times a negative, that makes a positive, and 6 4s are 24. Right, what have we got here? 6x. Take away 6x. Leaves no x's at all. It's like me, you've got no x's. And then we've got, all the x's completely disappear. So because disappear? They disappear. We've got 6. Take away 6, which leaves nothing. So we move on to the numbers. And I've got 12 plus 24 is 36. So actually this one just simplifies to 36. Very simple. Yep, well done if you've got all three of those. Watch out for those double negatives. And remember that if you've got a negative on this second bracket, that means that that number is negative, you know, negative 7 times whatever it is. Yep. Okay. Right, so here's your end task. I want you to do as many of these as you can for the rest of the lesson. Do push yourself. Try and do, you know, lots of these. Pause the video, and then we'll unpause in a minute, and I'll just shout out what the answers are. I won't do the working out for these, but if you're really stuck, then obviously, if I'm your teacher, you can email me, and I shall let you know. If I'm not, don't email me because you don't know my email address. Right, pause the video. Off you go. I mean, if you do know my email address, that'd be a bit weird, wouldn't it? Anyway, right, so off we go. Let's unpause. We have unpause, so here come the answers. They are x plus 5, 4x minus 2, negative 2x plus 11, or, you know, I'm a mathematician, so I'd write that the other way around, which would be 11 take away 2x. Well done if you write it that way around, but both are correct. Then we've got 2x plus 3, 2x plus 9, 8x plus 14, 5x plus 9, and 18x plus 11. Second column then, x minus 13. Now, if you have put 1x minus 13, it's not wrong, it's just not very neat. And then 5x plus 8, negative x, take away 13. Again, you might have put negative 1x, take away 13, possibly. That's fine. 4x plus 10, negative 4x, take away 4, and 7x, take away 14, and then negative 5x, take away 9, and negative 2x plus 9. Or, again, you might have written that one really neatly because you're an awesome mathematician, of 2 take away, so 2, that's a 9. 9 take away 2x. You might have written it that way around. Either is absolutely fine. Well done, and I shall see you again next time. Bye-bye now.